G'day YouTube, JB from Oz here. So today's a quick workshop update. I've been doing a whole pile of stuff lately and yeah, realistically speaking, I'm absolutely blown away by how one grain of sand has killed my car and I've been able to fix it and get it back up and running again. It hasn't missed a beat since and I'm really happy with the outcome. So I don't know whether to make up a separate video about that just to express things, but anyway, car works and I'm on my way into work this morning. So last night I was working on the Kanto Mill and hit an unexpected issue. It's a three-phase machine in Australia, and typically in Australia we've got 440 volts, and the 440 volts anyway. So the motor is 200 volts, so I'm sure I'll be able to get the VFD to output 200 volts. Just means more reading of the manual. Yeah, we'll get it sorted. The car is now a joy to drive again, and that is absolutely awesome. Also with that, today being Friday, last day of work for the week. Yesterday, 14th February, my parents accepted an offer on their business. So that's a massive milestone. The business has been something that they set up on a kitchen table for $20 nearly, well, how old am I? 47. Nearly 40 years ago. Started off making bags for a little cottage industry, and then making screen printing, and then they got a screen printing contract, built that up to a factory unit employing something like 25 people, 24 hours a day, massive automated machinery with contracts with people like Rusty Surfboards, Roseanne Dallin Designs, all through the 80s, massive volumes of work. Redback Brewery, I personally printed something like 750,000 Redback Brewery shirts in that contract. Got it down to a point where I could print a shirt every 3 seconds using that machine. So that was part of what I did when I was 17, running that machine. Fast forward probably 15 years and I ended up working back for the folks as production manager on that business. When they still had it in printing, they'd expanded into embroidery, which is something that a lot of their clients had asked them to expand into. And along with that, there was a more computerized approach to artwork. And compared to printing, it's such a cleaner industry. You can turn a machine off at 4 o'clock, walk out the door, come back in the next morning, turn it back on and press the start button, and you haven't missed a minute. With screen printing, you need to clean the machine down, you need to pull inks off. We were using water-based inks because we produced a soft feel product, unlike the plastisol prints that most people use these days. And the product was amazing, the outcomes were great, but the usability of it meant that you couldn't stop and start again. You know, even over lunch you'd had 10 minutes clean down before you could actually stop for lunch, just to clean the screens, the areas of the screens where the ink goes through, and then half an hour later you'd be battling to get the print quality back out again. Usually when we finished a print, all the contractors would go home, all your labour to pack shirts and all that sort of stuff, and you're the last person at the factory at 4 o'clock in the morning cleaning ink out of screens, freezing cold out at night, and yeah, it was a mug's game. So when I started up with them, we sold the printing business, and I implemented an electronic record system, which meant that we could do digital customer approvals of all orders and digital repeats. previously it was all handwritten records on pieces of paper, and you're trying to find information about a job. You'd have to go through about 12 filing cabinets to find that one misfiled document. There was no records of how you did it if you couldn't find that job bag, and it was just a real inconvenience on how to get further forward. And it was a full-time job, writing up job sheets. Fortunately, I was able to take that approach when I was managing production there, and you can now duplicate a record electronically in half a second. We've extended that software, so for certain types of work it will actually read the customer's order. They send it through to us as a CSV, and already you have the output in a usable form as a worksheet. Off to them for an approval. Everybody signs off on their work beforehand, which means that they have a visual of the logos, they have stock counts, they have all the details. So if anything's wrong, the onus is back on them. Now, anytime you're having a conversation with a customer and there's a dispute over what's been put onto a garment, it's always helpful to be able to bring that document into play and say, look, we want to help here. This is what you asked for. This is what you've got. So that really changed the tone of those conversations. Instead of people screaming at us that we'd done it wrong, they were more asking us for help to fix it. And we usually were able to fix any issues that were there. Anyway, that's a bit of a distraction. So fast forward a number of times, I was poached to go and work for an engineering firm, which is where I'm currently at still, as a workflow specialist. And basically my experience in managing and graphic art and design and all of the historical things have kind of led to the position I have here, where I'm I guess a troubleshooter. I find ways through novel approaches to things that people don't necessarily think of. But as far as the embroidery business goes, it was by and large manageable and runnable by a single person now, and Dad's been doing that for the last 8 years on his own. They decided they wanted to retire. Dad's 73 now. He had officially retired when I was working with them back at when he turned 60, and a few things back then. The GFC hit pretty hard. A whole pile of issues flowed through the work and the environment, so it's taken a little bit of a time to build the business back up to the point where it is a very profitable business today. And that's the point at which they're selling. And yesterday they signed on the dotted line and have accepted an offer on that business. So we look to the next month. It's going to be a pretty exciting one. We've got a due diligence and all that sort of stuff, but hopefully by the end of that we'll have a clear pathway to what JB Zollman's going to be doing from here on in. I certainly hope he and Mum will have some time together to do stuff that they'll enjoy, maybe some travelling. We're also looking for potentially a bit of workshop space to be able to move some of the cars. We've got a couple of Austin Healey's that would be really awesome to restore as a project over the next few years. So yeah, look, that's going to be pretty exciting. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to them being able to enjoy a bit of time off. Dad works pretty hard, has always done that, and he's one of the reasons why I feel I'm pretty motivated and focused on what I do as well. And I'm just really proud of them and really happy for them. So hopefully you'll see some videos from JB Zollman coming up. And I'll get back into the workshop myself. Hopefully once I've got the Kanto Mill finished, I've got a bit of work to do, giving Megs some training on some of the machines we've got. We've got the laser cutter there. She's wanting to be able to do some fabric cuts and leather cuts and just tweaking the settings. A couple of stencils she wants to cut for printing on some aprons. It's a bit ironic that, having come from a printing industry and from a printing business, my wife is now set up as, not as a printer, but we have the Heidelberg there to do printing as a component of her artworks, her inspired designs and whatnot. So yeah, when she said she wanted to buy a printing press, I'm like, okay, look, we can do this, but it's something you want to do, right? It's not something you want me to do. And it's a little bit of a scary machine, but I know that she's got the skills to do it. She's got the tenacity to pull through and actually learn what she needs to do to produce what she wants to. So that's pretty exciting as well. The workshop, the last few updates have been a little bit far between, but it is now a space that we can both work in, and it just feels good. So 2019, year of the Killjoys. A lot of things happening. That's it for me for today, I think. Ready to hit the day. Friday, lovely day today. It's about 24 degrees, bit of cloud cover. If every day was like this, it'd be a good day. Another thing which I've been working on in this last, where are we now? Probably 3 weeks. Greg Chester from The Shed has been trialling some dietary supplement for a keto diet, and he's had some pretty good results. And on the back of his results, I decided to give it a bit of a shot myself, and I started with that program, and it really helped me to kickstart my mental attitude and my physical attitude towards food, towards weight loss. I've adjusted my approach slightly now, and I've gone to pretty much a diet-based outcome. That's not meaning starvation. I'll put a couple of pics of some of the foods that I've been eating as part of this diet. In the video here. But so far I've managed to go from 155 kilos down to about 143 kilos. 2.2 pounds a kilo, so what's that? 12, 24, what's another 2? It's about 27 pounds in about 3 weeks, which has been pretty exciting. My brain's feeling better, my body's feeling better, clothes are fitting again, all that sort of stuff. So I've got a way to go, but I'm certainly feeling like I'm making some progress. And I just really want to give a massive shout out to Greg. He's the guy that's inspired me to do something about it, and it needed to happen, of course. You probably would have seen in some of my vids I'm a bit porky, but 2019 again, year of the Killjoys. It's all got to happen, chaps. We'll hopefully have a really good outcome. I'll keep you posted on that. It's not going to be something I focus a lot on in these vids, but it's just something to add into the workshop update. Look, thanks heaps for watching. I've had a whole pile of new subscribers come through. My 2 videos on the hit and miss engine have just spiked pretty hard, so I know that that's going to probably fall away a little bit again, but it certainly was an encouraging sign, and makes me want to keep doing some of those videos as well. Anyway, thank you very much. I'll catch you next time.